We're here with Denver Davis, the Director of Cross Country and Track and Field. Before I ask you about this fall season, go back a little bit to the spring. You had 3 distance runners qualify for NCAA Outdoors, 2 of which are still with the team. How did that, opportunity to compete against some of the top runners in the nation help them going forward now that we hit cross country season?
Sure. So English, Jackson, and Callista Ariel back this year for their senior campaign. And I think for both of them, it's really just the experience piece. Callista, by the time we got to the third part of the season for our distance runners to the outdoor season, that was her 3rd appearance at a national championship last year. She did qualify for cross country last fall, qualified in indoor in the 3K, and watching her compete in the steeplechase in the spring, you could tell that experience level was just much different. She was more comfortable, understood a little bit more of what was going on, and competed at a much higher level at that outdoor championship than she had. So I think for her, bringing that experience into this year is going to be a crucial piece. And the same thing for English. She's going to be in some uncharted territory for her career-wise as far as cross-country goes, but she's somebody that will look at taking that experience in the spring, qualifying for the NCAA outdoor meet, and hopefully things go well and she's on that plan to work to qualify for the national championships this fall and get some experience at that level during the cross-country season. So,
and Callista and English are 2 of the younger runners from a few years ago that have been building that women's program back up after all the graduations you had, I think around 2015. So after them, who else is going to round out that top 5 when it comes to ODACs in terms of the team score?
Sure. I mean, so we're a smaller program this year on the women's side. We have 2 sophomores, actually 4 sophomores now that I'm thinking about it. They're all sophomores. We have 4 sophomores on the team that are running right behind them. So Lindsay Taylor and Alyssa Hill are our returning distance runners there, true distance runners. And then our middle distance longer sprint 400 hurdle girls that are doing cross country this year, and Casey Hooker and Savannah Blake. So those will be our 6 women moving forward into the ODAC championship. Staying healthy will be the big key for us, making sure that we get a whole team to the line. And it's been an interesting experience for both Casey and Savannah. Working their training, it's a little bit more mixed this fall than it's been in the past, and for them to get out on the cross-country course more consistently, something that they are certainly excited to be helping the team with, and certainly I think using it to their advantage for the track season, just preparing themselves for the track season. And then moving into next year, obviously, we'll be on the recruiting trail and hopefully bringing in a large class of freshman women, of which Allie and Lindsay will be our 2 upperclassmen next year as the juniors on the team coming back, and getting into those leadership positions and things like that with the new women on the team.
And then the men, in some ways, are where the women's program was in 2016, where you had graduated a great class last year led by Jamie Heigl, and now you have some freshmen this year that are already scoring. So, talk about that youth movement there and who are some of the people to watch.
It's hard. I think at a couple of points last year, our entire men's top 7 were all seniors at a couple of various points in the year. So when you've got that many senior guys on the team, graduation can definitely get you a little bit, but our leadership has been really good. Kenny Sullivan and Shane Gibbs have stepped up into those leadership roles. Noah Howell has been doing very good for us this year. A lot of those guys came back in a much better place training-wise than they did previous summer even, and really carried their momentum from the spring through the summer and into the fall. We do have a lot of freshmen on the team. We're definitely freshman heavy on the men's side this year, but looking at guys like Vinny Leo, who's a local guy here, ran at Wilson High School down the road. Andrew Brommel, who's from Brentsville, and Alex Hulleman, who's also local, having run at Harrisonburg High School. Those are probably the 3 main guys we're going to look to contribute out of that freshman group as the cross-country season progresses forward. So we've got a good blend of experience and youth, but on the whole, we're definitely young on the men's side, which, anytime you get a young team, you don't know what's going to happen, but you know that if things stay on the right path as those guys come up and get older and we start to have them become the dominant upper class group, the experience that they're going to have in another 3 years is going to be tremendous and helping push the team forward from here.
And just final question, you did get to see the ODAC course in Roanoke in September, so what did you learn there? You know, what were some of the positives, you know, heading in as we start preparing for the championships?
Yeah, it's fast. It's a fast course. It's at Green Hill Park there in Salem, and that's actually the site of the Knights Crossing invite, which is a big high school invitational that's an early season cross-country invite. That's held down there every year and is notorious for producing some very fast 5K times. And it's been so dry this fall, as everybody knows. So when we ran down there, it was hard ground, very responsive, very fast. They've got the grass cut nice and short, not that it's growing much. But it should be a great place for our athletes to go out and run some really fast times at the conference meet. Hopefully we do see some PRs at that meet, and it's going to kind of up the level of the conference in general in terms of how competitive that meet's actually going to turn out to be and what factor speed is going to play into it, as well as strength. You know, it's not your traditional course where we get a lot of hills and we get a lot of rhythm breakers. It's a pretty smooth course the whole way through, and it's going to be a really good experience for our athlete. I think the coaches down at Roanoke have put together a good course for us, and we're definitely looking forward to competing down there in about a month, actually, so about 30 days out from the championship.